will this be like the first facility you showed us when it's completed? Will it be like the first facility you showed us when it's completed?
Yes, so it'll be as full as that first facility.
Gotcha.
We will start running this next week. We bring it to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And so here we have another U.S. manufacturer called KLA Pincore. They are the 5th largest equipment manufacturer in the world, and they're based in Milpitas, California. So here we have Peter, who will explain some of the equipment for us.
Hi, it's nice to meet you all. My name is Peter, and I work for KLA. We make the inspection and the metrology tools that help make today's semiconductor industry a reality. As an example, this is the Alaris tool, which is used to measure the very thin film thicknesses in nanometers of those films that are deposited on the semiconductor devices during fabrication. To achieve these measurements, we shine a very bright light onto the device, we collect the light as it's being reflected, and we look at the change in the polarization of that light. And from that polarization change, we can determine the film thicknesses and other material properties of that original semiconductor.
I'm a little trouble hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't hear me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you pull that mic up a little bit?
Closer?
Okay. Is this better?
That's better.
Wonderful. So I work for KLA. We make the inspection.
I heard the first one.
Oh, I'm
Here,
sorry.
can you speak up a little bit because the speaker isn't that loud over here? So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, that sounds better. So KLA makes the inspection and the metrology equipment that help makes today's semiconductor industry a reality. This tool here is part of the Alaris family of tools, which is used to measure the thicknesses in nanometers of the very thin films that are deposited during device fabrication. To achieve these measurements, we shine a very bright light onto the device, we collect its reflection, and we look at the change of the polarization of that light. And from there, we can determine the film thickness and other material properties of that original device.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you all.
Peter, appreciate it.
Okay, now let's visit
Don't
with
forget to vote, Peter.
Oh, I'm so sorry?
But don't forget to vote.
Oh, I will not.
You may be here, but don't forget to vote.
I'm sorry. I was
Yep.
trying to interpret into
So now let's move to the third equipment
Thank you.
manufacturer.
I appreciate it.
This company is called Lam Technologies, and this one is based in Fremont, California, and it is the 3rd largest equipment company in the world. So, President Biden, President Yoon. Okay, and we have Shashank, who will explain his equipment.
So, good evening, President Biden, President Yoon, and welcome. So, I am Shashank Deshmukh from Lam Research, and Lam Research makes etch, deposition, and clean equipment to make semiconductors. And what you are looking here is our Altis tungsten deposition tool, which deposits tungsten using an atomic layer deposition process, and which is also called ALD. And in ALD, tungsten is deposited one atomic layer at a time.
All right, US pool, let's roll. US pool, let's roll.
Clear the show, my friend.
어디 갔나 봐? 네? 또 어디 갔나? 마이크.
manufacturing ready. So we really appreciate Samsung's collaboration. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We can now head back out. But as we
카드 주세요,
walk
카드.
out, I would
카드.
also, we don't have
카드.
a representative, but see you again. Welcome to P3. You are now in the world's largest fab. It looks very sparse right now. If you follow me, I'll explain. But we just started installing equipment 1 week ago. So that's why it's very sparse. Eventually, we will have,
I guess not.
this P over here if you may. We will have 4,200 pieces of equipment here, which will make it look very similar to the P1 fab you just saw. So all this area will be full with equipment. And also, of that equipment, over 40% are from US manufacturers. And of course, that includes Applied Materials, which is the world's largest semiconductor equipment company. And we have Roop over here from Applied Materials, who will explain the equipment a little bit.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to meet you, Mr. President, and all our respected guests. Welcome to Samsung. We are Applied Materials, and I'm Roop Singh. I work in Applied Materials Santa Clara. I support CVD products, which is chemical vapor deposition products. This is what this system is all about. This particular system that we're looking at is it's called Producer GT system, and it's actually one of the best-selling CVD system in Applied Materials. And in fact, we over 5,000 systems were sold in 2018 in Samsung, and that was a big proud of moment for us. Now this first part of the system that we're looking at is called FI, and it's a front. It's the factory interface. Now we have the system called OHT on the top. It's called the overhead transportation. It's basically calibrated to each low port that we're looking at. It drops the FOUP onto the low port, and the FI robots pick up the wafers from there and then transfer over to the next via chamber or the load lock. And then from there on, the wafer goes into the transfer chamber. And then from transfer chamber, it goes into a process chamber. And then process chamber we can see on either side of the transfer chamber on the back side. And that particular chamber we're looking at today is called HARP system. It's a high aspect ratio process, PMD, which is a pre-metal deposition. So why this is so important, why this is a new generation FI. So this FI is equipped with high throughput fast robots, which means you can produce more number of wafers. It's very important for all of us, for all the customers, specifically Samsung, to have a high throughput system. Now, I want to give a very short example, and then I'll wrap it up within a minute. And then we're living in a new era of growth. We're growing at a much faster rate than we used to, which that could be related to intelligent age, AI, big data, and machine learning languages, so forth. Right? So which means we need to meet our demand, supply and demand for a customer. Right? So now we all agree that COVID-19 left a big impact on all of our lives in terms of social life, in terms of our business, our economy, our specifically semiconductor companies. And why it's so important for us to invest into semiconductor companies, because we lost so much during COVID, right? So now we're supposed to travel to Korea 2 years ago for starting our newer generation system, which is capable of that system that we're looking at, that can produce 2 wafers at a time, or deposit 2 wafers at a time. The newer generation systems that we're working on, that me and my team are here for, we can produce multiple wafers, which means we can have a higher throughput for our customers, right? So in order to do that, we actually supported our customer virtually, remotely from Santa Clara. But in order to do that, we need to generate a lot of data, a lot of the networking to upload it on the cloud. And then from the cloud, it goes to your devices, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, and so forth, right? But in order for that to happen, we need to generate multiple trillions of transistors. In order to do that, our customers have to produce or manufacture more chips. Samsung is doing a tremendous job to the opening of new fabs. They're
Final audio check is good. 1, 2, CNN. Good. Pool's up. White House TV. Korean press pool. Audio good. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good levels. Good check.
Good evening and welcome to Samsung Electronics Pyeongtaek campus. Now I'd like to introduce Samsung Electronics Vice Chairman, who is leading the global semiconductor industry with strategic innovation. Please welcome to the stage, Lee Jae-yong.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to welcome President Biden, President Yoon, and many distinguished guests to our Pyeongtaek Semiconductor Campus today, the largest and most advanced fabrication site in the world. Over a quarter century ago, Samsung became the first international company to make semiconductors in the United States. We highly value our friendship and look forward to continuing our special relationship. Semiconductors are engines of the modern world, driving growth and opportunity for all. They enable people around the globe to have equitable access to the internet and its vast database of knowledge, and they advance business productivity on all fronts. This innovation is possible with your devotion. So thank you, Team Samsung. In South Korea, the United States, and around the world. It is now my great honor and pleasure to welcome our presidents. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcoming President Yoon and President Biden.
바이든 대통령님, 그리고 내외 귀빈 여러분, 오늘 바이든 대통령께서 방한의 첫 일정으로 세계 최대 규모의 삼성 반도체 평택 캠퍼스를 방문하신 것을 매우 뜻깊게 생각합니다. 바이든 대통령께서는 취임하신 이래 글로벌 공급망의 핵심으로 반도체의 중요성을 강조해 왔습니다. 반도체법의 의회 통과를 위해 많은 노력을 쏟고 계신 것을 알고 있습니다. 아울러 공급망 정상회의를 직접 주재하시고 글로벌 공급망 안정을 위한 국제 협력을 이끌고 계십니다. 오늘 바이든 대통령의 평택 캠퍼스 방문은 반도체가 갖는 경제 안보적 의미는 물론 반도체를 통한 한미 글로벌 포괄적 전략 동맹의 의미를 되새길 수 있는 좋은 기회가 될 것입니다. 반도체는 자율주행차, AI, 로봇 등 모든 첨단 산업의 필수 부품이자 미래 기술 경쟁력을 좌우하는 핵심 요소입니다. 대한민국은 전 세계 메모리 반도체의 70%를 공급하면서 반도체 글로벌 공급망의 핵심적인 역할을 수행하고 있습니다. 한미 동맹의 오랜 역사처럼 한미 반도체 협력의 역사 또한 매우 깊습니다. 이 땅의 첫 반도체 기업으로 한미 합작의 한국 반도체가 1974년에 설립되었습니다. 미국 마이크론사와의 기술 제휴를 통해 세계 세 번째로 64K D램을 개발한 이래 미국 오스틴시에 이어서 테일러시에 첨단 파운드리를 설립하기에 이르렀습니다. 램 리서치, 듀폰 등 미국의 반도체 소재 장비 업체들도 한국 투자를 통해 한국 반도체 업체와의 협업을 강화하고 있습니다. 동시에 한미 정부 간 반도체 협력도 활발히 진행되고 있습니다. 작년 말 출범한 한미 반도체 파트너십 대화를 통해 반도체 공급망 협력은 물론 투자, 인력, 기술 협력 사업도 진행되고 있습니다. 저는 반도체가 우리 미래를 책임질 국가 안보 자산이라고 생각하면서 과감한 인센티브와 필요한 지원을 아끼지 않을 계획입니다. 바이든 대통령께서도 우리 반도체 기업들의 미국 투자에 대한 각종 인센티브를 제공할 뿐 아니라 미국의 첨단 소재 장비 설계 기업들의 한국 투자에도 큰 관심을 가져주시기를 부탁드립니다. 바이든 대통령께서 한국 반도체의 심장인 평택 캠퍼스에 방문해 주셔서 다시 한번 깊이 감사드립니다. 오늘 방문을 계기로 한미 관계가 첨단 기술과 공급망 협력에 기반한 경제 안보 동맹으로 거듭나기를 희망합니다. 감사합니다.
Mr. President, thank you. Thank you. You're very generous. Thank you very much. Mr. President, thank you for that introduction. It's wonderful to be back in the Republic of Korea. President Yoon, I'm honored by the welcome you've given me to your beautiful country. And congratulations again on your election. Congratulations. And recent inauguration. I and my country look forward to a very productive few days together where we can get to know one another better and explore ways to take the alliance between the Republic of Korea and the United States to even greater heights than it already exists. And Vice Chairman Lee, thank you for welcoming us to this Samsung semiconductor facility. This is an auspicious start to my visit because it's emblematic of the future cooperation and innovation that our nations can and must build together. I'm joined by my Secretary of Commerce, Secretary Raimondo is here in the front row, who's working every day to bring us closer to that goal. I've just seen how this plant makes the most advanced semiconductor chips in the world. They're a wonder of innovation, design, precision, and manufacturing. Semiconductors power our economies and enable our modern lives, from our automobiles to our smartphones to medical diagnostic equipment. And when it comes to the most advanced chips like the ones made here in Samsung, is only one of only 3 companies in the world that makes these chips. It's incredible, an incredible achievement. Because these little chips, only a few nanometers thick, are the key to propelling us into the next era of humanity's technological development. Artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, 5G, and so very much more, things we haven't even thought of at this point. This plant also reflects the close bonds and innovation between our countries. Much of the technology and machinery that is used to make these chips was designed and produced in the United States. And by uniting our skills and our technological know-how, it allows the production of chips that are critical to both our countries and are essential sectors of our global economy. And thanks for the incredible $17 billion investment that Samsung announced last May, soon to the United States to have a facility like this one that manufactures the most advanced chips in the world in Tyler, Texas. Thank you. This investment will create 3,000 new high-tech jobs in Texas and add to 20,000 jobs Samsung already supports in the United States of America. So I want to thank Samsung for their investment and for continuing to expand the very productive partnership between the Republic of Korea and the United States. And I know that Samsung will also be working with Stellantis on a joint venture to build a new facility in the United States that will manufacture batteries for electric vehicles. Investments like these are going to help catapult us forward toward a clean energy future, which we both badly need, advancing our shared economic growth, our energy security, and our climate goals. I also want to make clear that these are smart business decisions. Samsung didn't invest $17 billion without, as we say in America, running the numbers. The United States is a top destination for foreign direct investment, like the one Samsung is making, because we have a world-class, highly skilled, and highly committed workers. I urge Samsung and Stellantis and any company investing in the United States to enter into partnerships with our most highly skilled and dedicated and engaged workers you can find anywhere in the world, American union members. Stellantis knows how much benefit comes from a successful relationship with the union in America. They have a national agreement with my friend Ray Curry, the United Auto Workers. For every joint venture that manufactures electric vehicle batteries would be made stronger by collective bargaining relationships with American unions. We also have outstanding, skilled, dedicated union building and construction trades workers ready to build a new Samsung facility in Texas. So let's work together to make this happen and to get that plant built on time and on budget, safely and efficiently, because union labor means high-quality work that delivers the best possible return on investment. The United States has premier colleges and universities, a culture that fosters innovation and entrepreneurship, a transparent and predictable legal system where companies know their ideas and their investments will be protected. And my administration is doubling down on all of these strengths. We're investing more than $1 trillion to upgrade America's infrastructure coast to coast over the next decade. And hopefully soon, with the Bipartisan Innovation Act, we'll deliver historic federal investments in U.S. research and development, including funding for something called the CHIPS Act to revitalize the U.S. semiconductor industry. Our two nations work together to make the best, most advanced technology in the world, and this factory is proof of that. And that gives both the Republic of Korea and the United States a competitive edge in the global economy, if we can keep our supply chains resilient, reliable, and secure. Over the last few years, we've seen just how critical it is. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of just-in-time supply chains. The global semiconductor shortage has caused a shortfall in consumer goods, especially automobiles, and it's contributing to higher prices around the world. And now, Putin's brutal and unprovoked war in Ukraine has further spotlighted the need to secure our critical supply chains so that our economy, our economic, and our national security are not dependent on countries that don't share our values. A critical component of how we'll do that, in my view, is by working with close partners who do share our values, like the Republic of Korea, to secure more of what we need from our allies and partners and bolster our supply chain resilience. That's why our strategy is to build around strengthening our ties and cooperation across the board. That's how both our nations can improve our long-term resilience, increase our shared prosperity, and put our people in the best position to come out ahead in the competition of the 21st century. And that's why, Mr. President, I came to the Republic of Korea on my first trip to Asia as President of the United States. So much of the future of the world is going to be written here in the Indo-Pacific over the next several decades. We're standing at an inflection point in history where the decisions we make today will have far-reaching impacts on the world we leave to our children tomorrow. This vibrant democracy has become a powerhouse of global innovation by investing in educating its people. And companies like Samsung that are driven by responsible development of technology and innovation will be critical to shaping the future in the direction of our two countries, the direction we both want to go. So this is the moment, in my view, to invest in one another, to deepen our business ties, to bring our people even closer together. This is something President Yoon and I will be talking about on our visit later after this meeting and in the months ahead, because the alliance between the Republic of Korea and the United States of America is a linchpin of peace, stability, and prosperity for a region of the world that we seek. So thank you all very much, and President Yoon, thank you for everything you've done so far. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of this meaningful event here at Pyeongtaek, the heart and center of Samsung's semiconductor business. Today's meeting signals the strengthening of the partnership between the two countries and the next great chapter for Korea's dynamic semiconductor industry. Again, thank you for joining us today, and our staff members will assist you with exiting the venue. Thank you.